Hey, everybody, Alan Slaughterzinski for the Brevard Sports Network, and it's been a very busy month with new head coaches in place. But this gentleman really kicked it off, and when I say kicked it off, I mean he really kicked off the excitement of the upcoming high school football season. You almost wish that it started next week. I know he does for sure, and kind of started a trend as well as guys returning home to where they played, grew up. Since he took the job at Rockledge High School, we've seen two other guys follow suit doing the same thing. Please help me welcome back to Brevard Sports Network. He was, if you remember, he was our 2022 Brevard Sports Network head football coach of the year, the new head football coach for the Rockledge Raiders, John Holmes. And coach, congratulations. Welcome back to Brevard Sports Network. It's great to have you here. Let's start with this. Coach, last year wasn't the right time to go back to Rockledge. This year is. What was the difference between last year and this year? Was it unfinished business? You tell me why this was the right time for you.
You hit it right on the head. Definitely unfinished business. When my goal was 2 or 3 years, I wanted to get into Titusville. I remember talking to Onion about it. Uh, he asked me, it was like, how long you staying? And I told him that in order to change the program around, it usually takes about 3 or 4 years. So I said that I want to go to Titusville. I want to spend 3 or 4 years there. I want to turn our program around. And then after that, I'll probably retire or I'll go back home and coach my son because my son is coming up through that pipeline down there. And he was like, okay. So when the job opened up, I think it was last May. If you do the math, that was only 2 years I
Right.
was at Titusville. Okay. So who knew when it would open up again? And it was like, damn, man, I might need to take this opportunity now because who knows when it's going to open up again. So I went to talking to a few people and asking them what should I do and stuff like that. But it was kind of up in the air, back and forth. But once I asked God about it, and I told him to show me signs, whether it was right to stay or leave, he definitely told me to stay and give it another year to really leave my mark, to really change that program around. And I could definitely say that it happened because a lot of people don't want to play John Holmes at Titusville. They literally said it. If you're at Titusville, we're not playing against you.
No.
And Titusville is actually the team to play. We had to go out of the county and find freaking hard teams to play, like Spruce Creek, West Orange, um, University, Seminole, dude. All those are 7 day schools. You know what I mean? Of course, Coco. I actually play them every year, and I think we matched up pretty well with.
You did.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that shows right there that Titusville is back. Um, I did what I came to do. I feel like I finished the mission. I changed what I said I would change. And hell, I think we finished what, third in the freaking county last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It,
everybody talk about Titusville again now. We ain't on everybody's freaking homecoming. You know what I
it,
mean?
and
So
I'll tell you what too, Coach. And I want to put this in there. And I know everybody's happy about Coach Diesel going back up there, but you made that job the right time to take it. Congratulations on all your success there.
appreciate it.
I mean, that's the truth. I mean, that's exactly what happened there, no doubt. Here with the new Rockledge head football coach, John Holmes. And, Coach, from a selfish perspective, I've got to ask this question. So, what was what did you say? What was the message to your football team at halftime of that Merritt Island game, Coach? I saw two teams that I saw in the first and the second half. What was the message to that team at halftime of that game?
I can't really remember. I don't think I ripped them too bad or too much. I just made them believe in themselves and to dig deep and just let all the BS go. Like a lot of my kids, when it comes basketball season to other seasons, they sort of check out, and I had to bring them back together and let them know, hey guys, we got a game to win tonight. That's winnable. You guys just did this a month or two ago. Like let's come together. Let's finish the mission.
And you certainly did that, Coach. You've had a lot of success at coaching, the youth football level, now the high school football level. But high school is a totally different animal than anything else that you encounter. I know you have parents at youth and you have to worry about funding and things like that. But my question to you is, when you stepped on the football field 3 years ago at Titusville, why are you a better coach today than you were when you stepped on the field 3 years ago? A better high school football coach?
Just the experience. The losses. You always learn from your losses and you grow from the losses. You don't really grow from the winnings or gain anything from the winnings. You learn from your losses and the turmoil and mistakes that you made as a coach and stuff like
You know, there is, I mean, let's not sugarcoat this, coach, because I think people would know that that's what I was doing. There's a certain standard when it comes with certain names of programs in this county. I mean, the helmets are behind me, Rockledge, Cocoa. There is a standard with which you are expected to represent the community, the school, and on the gridiron. What do you demand before a player even puts on a Raider uniform? What do you demand of them?
discipline, respect.
What do you demand of them once they put that uniform on?
Smashing off football, integrity, all that hard, tough nose stuff.
What do you like? I mean, obviously, being back at Rockledge, you have a phenomenal, quarterback booster club there. You have a great following. You probably haven't had a chance to sit back and think about it yet, but what does it really mean to you to be home, a homecoming for you? I mean, this is where you played. This is where you laid your tracks at. This is where you would go on to become the player you were at West Virginia. So, has this sunk in yet? And what are your feelings on this?
A lot has changed as far as walking through the halls. Things look different. You know what I mean? It's not the same. The paintings on the wall, the locker room, the names all up top, like that stuff has changed. And I feel like when I bring some of that old stuff back, then it actually hit me that okay, I'm back home. But yeah, right now it's like a weird feeling, like different classroom I never been in before. Like you know what I
Right.
mean?
I
Never
do.
been. Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, that is a strange feeling. It's kind of empty and full all at the same time. It's weird. Let me ask you this. Listen. I mean, every year it changes in terms of chatter on the outside, chatter on the inside. I wouldn't want to be a high school football coach today in the state of Florida, Texas, California, places like that, because you guys are under so much scrutiny, coach. I mean, you listen to all the talk on social media. I mean, it's a lot of it's jibber jab. I mean, a lot of it's ridiculous. I mean, let me just say it. I mean, we're grown men here, right? A lot of it's ridiculous bullshit, right? That people just spew out there. And it almost feels like that in order to be a high school football head coach today, you got to learn to somehow deal with that, block it out. How do you deal with all of that?
um, I try to stay away from social media,
Yeah,
and I know that there's a spotlight on me, and if I retaliate, it's not gonna be a good look.
right.
So the bigger picture is the kids, man. I try to remind myself that people are going to chatter, and the ones that are chattering never played football beyond high school. Most didn't go Division 1, so it's like, what do they really even know? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I said, it's about the kids, and that's the reason why I do it. That's the reason why I came back here to help these kids get to the next level, or at least have some kind of vision or goal once they leave high school. It's not about me; it's about them. So I let people talk, and you're gonna have haters. Hell, that's why I am the way I am now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do. I know. And, I tell you what, I got all the respect in the world for you because, there are coaches out there, that you can sit down. I know you don't like that light. And I know you try to stay away from it because for you, it is really about those kids on that field and what you can do for them on it and off of it because you have been there, you have played at that level, you do know what it takes. You are interacting with these college coaches today. How hard has it been, or if may not be difficult now that you're? And I'm not saying you didn't have it at Titusville because you certainly sent a lot of people to college at Titusville. But here's the thing: you're at Rockledge, and I'm sure you probably get a few more phone calls because of the name of the program there. But college football is changing. Based on what you've seen today with the world of college football, how have you had to adapt as a head coach
Uh,
to get kids to the next level, I should say?
First of all, I've had to kind of bring the kids down, like the level of everybody wants to play Division One,
Right.
D1. I want to D1, and I have to remind them like you got the transfer portal now that literally off the chain, and it's so hard to make it Division One. So I got to bring them down and talk to them about JUCO or D2 schools or D3 schools, and just like you said, I gotta adjust myself as well as the kids because I see D1 potential in these kids, but then you got the freaking transfer portal that is crushing a lot of dreams.
Yeah, I mean that is the thing. You know, it's weird because half the kids we see today that are forced to go play D2, D3, maybe JUCO, were D1 kids 10 years ago. And there's no doubt about that here with new Rockledge head football coach John Holmes. And so let me ask you this question then, based on what you've accomplished thus far, and I'm talking strictly from a coaching standpoint. At Titusville, at the youth level, now taking the Rockledge job. What matters to you beyond winning in terms of what are you proudest of, Coach, that you've accomplished thus far to this point? Your legacy. What are you proudest of?
The graduation rate that went up at Titusville.
I love that. And talk about how you were able to help impact that.
Um, a lot of the football players, just mentoring them, talking to them, making sure they come to school, they're on time, and doing what they got to do in order to graduate. And even the kids that didn't play football, but just were around me, loved my presence, just talking to them and encouraging them to make sure that they finish school.
Yeah, no, I think that's great, and I absolutely love to hear that. All right, let's talk about the team. I mean, I know you just got there this month, and I know there's still so much work to be done. How are you on scheduling? How's that working out for you? You need any games? To talk about that a little bit.
We got three weeks open. So I'm looking
Okay,
forward to 5 and 8.
5 and
So
8. You got a spring game?
yeah,
Okay. All right. So weeks 5 and 8 you need there. And you said 3 weeks. What was the other one?
3.
3, 5, and 8. Okay, so we'll make sure that gets up there as well. Coach, I don't know you and I have ever had this in depth of a conversation. I'm really enjoying it. I don't want to let you go. That's for sure. Your team next year. What do you? What? I mean, what can you tell us about it? I mean, what you know of it. What do you like about what's in place already?
Um, there's a great group of young talent here. The
Yes, there
27
is.
really unique group, man. I'm really excited to work with those guys.
23 last year I counted sophomores or juniors on that team. I'm telling you, if ever there was a time to go home, this was most certainly it. Coaches, we get set to wrap it up here. I always give the floor to you. I kind of want, what didn't we cover that we need to talk about?
Just a bad rep that
What do you?
yeah, you got a few people out there that uh got a bad like you said earlier, you got people that talk bad about the coaches and stuff like that. They tell their side of the story and
Is
what
there
I never
anything? Is there anything specific you want to address here? Because the floor is yours, my man. This is your interview.
I got a few things. I think the guy's name is Stick. He's
Okay.
going to everybody that I fired him and left him in South Sump there, all that yada yada yada. Middle of the game. Long story short, middle of the game, we were getting up behind, whooped, and he nutted up. So during that time, he looks at me. It's the second time this season. He asks, "Well, do you want to call the plays?" And I'm like, "No, you're the offensive coordinator. I got you here for a reason, so call the damn plays." You know what I
Right.
mean? And he was adamant about it. Asked me again, "Did I want to call the plays?" So I'm like, "If I call the plays, then I won't need you here anymore." You know what I mean? So it
Right.
was, uh, take it. You got to play. Call the plays. I'm like, all right. So once we stepped in there, I think we scored a touchdown the next play, and it was uh, on and popping from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want to say this: I did not fire the guy. He quit in the middle of the game.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Uh, Finishing up here, I just want to let the people know. I don't want to call no names, Alan, unless you think it's necessary. What you think?
No, let's leave the names out of it. They'll know who they are.
Okay. Okay. I'll tell you what. Previous Rockledge High coaches, can y'all please stay out my kids who attend Rockledge High, stay out their inbox. Stop calling them, trying to get them to transfer to Galley or this place or that place. All right. Uh, Allow me to coach them and lead them in the right direction. That's what I'm here for. All right. That's all I got.
All right, so let me say this. Let me repeat for Coach Holmes. I'm gonna say this again for Coach Holmes. Stay out of the kids' DMs. Every coach should be staying out of the kids' DMs. John, that's ridiculous. Previous Rockland. So you're saying that your kids are getting messages in their DMs from previous coaches at Rockledge trying to recruit them to O'Galley?
Yes, sir. Players, they got coaches doing it. They got the kids doing it, reaching out to my kids, trying to get them to go there. Like, dude,
That's you cannot have that. There's got
yeah,
to be a semblance of law and order in terms of high school football. It cannot be the wild, wild west. Coach, I appreciate your honesty on this stuff and cluing me in on what's going on, man, because sometimes I do sit clueless and don't know. I know a lot of people think I know everything that goes on, but I don't. And I can tell you right now that I'll be talking about this one and I'll be sniffing around a little bit. How about that? I'll be sniffing around a little bit on this one because that's interesting. That, I promise you, sticking my nose in is something I'm pretty good at. But, Coach, good luck at Rockledge. I know you're going to succeed there. And congratulations on a great foundation laid prior to leaving there. Let me ask you this. What would you like to say to the people of Titusville that you spent 3 years with? Because I know a lot of times you leave and you don't have that chance. Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
uh, good luck, man. Just
Yeah.
good luck in the future. Make sure you guys back up Coach Diesel. Give him more respect. Give him more time. Volunteer. Give him more support, man. He really could use it.
Well, I tell you, Coach, that's a kind thing for you to say, and I appreciate you taking this time today to talk with us here. I think this is the best interview. I know this is the best interview you and I have ever done. Thanks a lot, Coach. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. John Holmes, the new head football coach for the Rockledge Raiders. Have a great night, everybody.